Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Tuesday, January the 24th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Range trading, part 2 with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and different from Walmal's. Walmal, yesterday I was talking to the traders about range trading, since that's your favorite type of trading.
It certainly can be. It's one of those things where you just can be very, very productive. Let's just put it that way. You see a pattern, setting up on the screen, and it just holds to it. For instance, if you go to look at the 1 minute chart right now, and it's stuck between about 75 and 05, and it's just going up and down, up and down, up and down, and the nice thing about it is you can go and ride those things both directions. And I love what it's doing right now because it's about a 15 to 20 pip range. I love it when it's about that range because there's room to make money, yet at the same time you're not looking at a range to have huge ranges. The problem is when there's a huge range that is ranging through. There's usually what some people would call noise. I just call it price movement that happens, and so you can wind up in a situation where it can go against you, and before it gets to the other end of the range to go turn around, it goes against you a bunch before it actually comes back and gets back in your direction.
Right.
That's just the reality. So I like it. I don't want it compressed. I don't want it 5 pips because there's no room to make any money. But 10, 15, maybe even up to 20 pips, that's perfect. And that's what we have right now.
Yeah. Because on the past couple of hours, we've been pretty much between the 80 and the 00 on my 1 minute chart.
Yeah, exactly. And that's I said 75 before. I meant to say 85. It's very nice. And what you do is it doesn't. The nice thing about it is, if you got that range where it's wide enough but not too wide, you don't change your methodology. At least I don't change my methodology. My reason for getting in a trade doesn't change. It just, when it hits that boundary, it's sort of like, okay, we got a good opportunity here where it's going to come off that boundary and go back towards the middle. There's lots of ways to do it. You can do it one way. You do it is, for instance, if we're doing indicator 2, the way I go and play indicator 2 is that, I want to be out of the indicator 2 box. I want to have I want to be above the indicator 2 dot twice, so in other words, second candle is closed. In this particular case here, it wouldn't have worked out, if we were looking at the 1 minute chart right now.
Well, we got news in less than a minute, so.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's sort of, you don't know what it's not a good play. Now, you said something that's very interesting, is that we have news right now, and we're talking about range trading. There are two ways to play ranges. You can play ranges from running from one end to the other end. In other words, for us, from 85 up to the 00. But the other way to do is you can play the idea of break out out of a range. And a news event is a perfect place to go and do that. Because, if this news that's coming out in a few minutes, 1 minute actually not even.
Right now.
Seconds.
Yeah, here we go.
Boom, there you go. And if you get put, what they used to call a straddle play,
right.
Put a short at the bottom of that range from before at 82 or 83, and that could have been really nice.
I think they're lying though.
Yeah, I have no idea what the news is.
Yeah, but how can it be good for the dollar? That's my question. Well, they got to be lying.
Well, like I've said before on here, it doesn't have to necessarily be good for the dollar.
Right.
It just has to be better than what was expected. And they were expecting 45.3 on the flash services, and they got 46.6. Well, it's below 50, which means it's actually bad for the dollar, but it's better than what was expected. So it's less worse news.
Yeah. Well, we got a huge M1 return bar, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. And that short that I was in before, I wish I was had carried it, but that's not my style of trading. And that's the thing. You can't go and look at things with regret of missing out or regret of any sort. Hey, I don't trade news. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that I potentially could have picked up 20 pips on this and I didn't get it. Well, no, it's not that I didn't get it. It's that I didn't choose to go and take that opportunity because it's not an opportunity that I play. And that's just reality. It's so if you're playing baseball, right? And if I'm a singles hitter, and a ball comes in, high and over the middle of the plate, that's a perfect ball to go and hit out of the park. But if I'm a singles hitter, do I necessarily go for that and try to hit it out of the park? Or do I just go and get my easy single and probably get double because of where it's placed? I go and take my single up and just do it over and over again. And notice that return bar on the 1 minute, which is what, 20 pips, and now it covered it completely. Now it's going back the other direction. And
I don't have a complete cover yet, but it's going that way. Yeah, I thought for sure these guys were lying. It's just, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back to range trading, if we look prior to this news event coming out, look, you just look at it from almost an hour of just being bounced between that 05 and the 85, just over and over again. And if you remember last hour, beginning of this hour, we had made a guess that it was going to break that 00.
Right.
We both took the same trade, and it went against us. Well, what I did is to get out of that trade was I went and shorted it because I said, hey, it looks like it's setting up a range. Let's just go and take it the other direction. I ran it down, and then took my pips on the way down. And when I got about 2/3 of the way down, what did I do? I went and just to let this thing come back up the other direction, and I was able to get out. Sure, I took a loss on my first original trade, but because of this range that we're in, it helped me out to get out of my mess. So overall, my trade was profitable. If I look at my short and my long together, overall it came out to be profitable. But that's the advantage of range trading. If you can go and spot it and see it, and you can go and first of all go and cover your losses pretty good, and at the same time you can, if you don't get it, if you don't miss that first trade, man, it would have been really nice. I could have picked up 10 pips,
Right.
Instead, I wound up between the win and the loss, only got maybe 2 or 3 pips. Okay, that's fine. Some people say you can't make money on 2 or 3 pips. Well, you do it all day long, you can.
Yes, you can.
So that's my idea of range trading. Now, some of the methods that people use, I like to use indicator too, as I've already alluded to. Other people, what they do is if they see a range, and what they'll do is that once it's covered the range by 2/3 of the way, let's say it's coming down, it's gone down 2/3 of the way, that's when their antenna starts going up and they start looking. And then what they do is they wait for whatever method that they use, and they usually wait at least 2 candles, the close of 2 candles, so that you get the first candle going back the other direction, and it closes, and then they wait for the second candle to close, and that way they have what they call that a confirmation candle, and then at that point they then go, if it was coming down before, now it's going to go up. Now at that point, that's when they enter, and they take the chance.
Right.
They could very well turn around and go and break the range on the bottom. Well, guess what? That's trading, boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it is, But at the same time, that's how you play it. And the nice thing about it is, if you look at the chart, okay, the chart is in some type of range. What I forget the number, but somebody's done the statistics on it, and it's like 60-70% of the time.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that means that. So there's 2 ways of looking at this. I gotta wait 60-70% of the time if I'm just a breakout guy. That's okay. You can be a breakout guy. But 60-70% of the time, you gotta understand you're gonna sit there and do nothing. And the problem with that is that, for me anyway, personally, is that I'm the type of guy that's very, very over anxious, and I wind up entering trades that hadn't fully developed because I'm waiting. Oh, good, it's gonna break down. I jump in too early. Next thing you know, I you know, I paid for that, and it was just not the right time yet. That's why I like this range trading, because I'm able to go and put some very, very concrete rules in place to keep my my spontaneity under control. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is I train the range, but I'm only going to trade the range with my methodology that I use. I'm always going to go and wait for that second confirmation candle, and that's just how I'm going to trade it. And if you do that, you're usually in pretty good shape.
Yeah, that the waiting for your signal, that's the important one. So like right now you've got two, at least on my chart, you've got two aqua. Well, you had two aqua indicator 2 dots.
Right. Yep.
But you got 2 seconds, and right there. So by not entering, you saved yourself some pain. Yeah.
Yeah, you would save a lot of pain. And that's the thing. You got to be disciplined about it, And and I wouldn't be going short here. Yeah, it came out indicator 2 box, but you know what?
You mean flip-flop box, right?
Actually, I'm using the indicator 2. I don't have the flip-flop box on there.
Well, what's the indicator 2 box?
The box that you draw from HL5 that marks the flop on the flop candle.
Well, that's a flip-flop box then.
Oh, I thought you said high-low box. I'm sorry, sir.
No, well, you said indicator 2 box. That's why I was wondering what that was.
I shouldn't call it that. But, you could have made money coming out of that flip-flop box, but the reality is that, that's not my trade.
Right.
Don't regret it, okay?
Yeah.
So what? It wasn't your trade, Don't, the moment you start regretting things that you could have had, but it wasn't your trade, that's going to put you in a lot of trouble, man.
It sure is.
So, like at the open of the current candle, I would have gone, if I was actually in this trade, I would have thought about going short, but here's the reason why I wouldn't have gone short, is that we had already moved 5 pips away from indicator 2 on the previous candle, and to me, that's sort of like, if I'm trading a 1-minute chart, that's too far. That's too far that we've traveled, so it's not for me, that's not a trade.
Yeah, well, actually, the short was at 80.9 on my chart, simply because that was the H1 low from the previous hour candle. So,
right.
And you had mentioned breakouts, so.
Yep, exactly. So now here, I got the flip-flop box here. I got 1 aqua dot. So you start thinking, well, maybe I can go long, but I don't go long until I get to close of the current candle. It just, what it does, it keeps you out of a bunch of trades, but it keeps you out of a bunch of really not so nice trades too. And I would challenge people to go out there, look at the chart, and look how many times if you got 2 closed candles in a row with those indicated 2 dots being the same color, how many times it seems to continue to run. Does it do it every time? No, it doesn't. But it seems like we were talking about this earlier. It's like I said, it's sort of like bam, 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 and then all of a sudden you get a loss, and then it's bam, 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 then a loss. You win 4 or 5 times in a row. You can go and take on that loss. So right now it would be a long. Whether it works out or not, I don't know. Wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, you know what? This is too funny. The fastest 15-minute trading is just about over. So, boys and girls, there's and non-binary traders. There's Walmal's take on range trading. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and we'll try and answer them soon. And as you know, when you're at your trading screen, you're trading, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.